Good morning. Welcome to MikroTik user meeting. Since our first mom here in 2006, we've had a mom in US every year, somewhere, and this is already 14th. And this is, I believe, third at least, or even fourth time in Texas. So we love Texas. We come here. The previous time we were here 3 years ago in Dallas. So, shortly about us. What do we do and who are we? Well, we are MikroTik and we create networks. We allow you to create networks by making software and hardware products. Nowadays we have actually more than 200 products in our product range, ranging from small units for home or for even taking with you on the road, till outdoor devices for creating links, short distance, long distance links, for offices, for networks. We have switches, small routers, PoE switches, and we also have carrier grade hardware, our CCR line for ISPs. We come from a small and cold place called Latvia in Northern Europe. It's quite far, but we have managed to get here. And we are 100% Latvian company. The only office that we have is in Riga, Latvia. And yeah, we're proud of it. We are 23 years old already. We were established in 1996, and since then have been creating. We started with our routers, the routing operating system, which in the beginning we were installing on regular computers, and then we started to make as well our hardware. And yeah, so have been doing that since. We are working hard all the time on improving router OS and on making new products as well. We have a wide network of partners around the world. There are lots of consultants, like router OS experts, who are willing and able to offer you consulting services and help you to configure your network and consult how to run it better. We have a wide network of distributors, more than 600 distributors all around the world, practically in every country except few. And we have also a network of certified trainers that can teach you and certify you to use and work with our devices. Our training network, our training program includes courses both in wired networks, wireless networks, starting from simple till the ISP level. And we have also a MikroTik Academy program, which is taught in universities, high schools, colleges all around the world. So I also during studies, people can learn how to work with our products. And shortly about our user meetings. So since 2006, since our first user meeting, which is one in Europe, in Prague, in Czech Republic, we've had more than 200 events in more than 80 countries. And the biggest one so far has been in Indonesia. More than 3,500 people came. So here in Austin, from MikroTik, we are 5, including our CEO. We have Edmunds from sales. If you have any questions on how to become a distributor and how to sell our products here, or any other sales-related question, please arrange a meeting with Edmunds. We have also guys from support here, Yanis Medis, so you can ask him all kinds of technical questions on router OS and and on our products as well. We have Uldis, who's our main LTE guy. So any questions about LTE and actually in wireless in general, you can go to Uldis. Me, Kaspars, you can ask me as well those questions, and on top of that, if you're interested in finding out more about our training program, so you can come and talk to me about how to become a MikroTik certified trainer, or anything else regarding our training program. You can come and talk to me. So we have 2 full days of presentations. The full agenda is available on our website. There will be as well 2 additional presentations from us. Today, at the end of the day, Uldis will talk about some newest things that we have in LTE and wireless. So that will be at the end of the day. And tomorrow, Jānis Meģis will be talking about throughput and how to understand it and how to improve it on our devices. Yeah, so make sure you come and see those presentations. During the day, around 12, we'll have lunch. Those who have vouchers, receive the orange tickets. You will be able to get the lunch here. We have 24 exhibitors, so there are so many exhibitors that we didn't have space to put them all in one room. So we also have exhibitors in the hallway. So we're very glad that we have so many exhibitors here today. And there's also Wi-Fi, if necessary. The Wi-Fi is MUM, and password is MikroTik. As well, we are live streaming this event, so if you have any friends or colleagues who wanted to be here but couldn't come, please send them this link and they will be able to follow all of the presentations. And as well, we are also recording all of the presentations, and after the MAM, we will publish them both on our YouTube channel, on our website, the slides as well, so you will be able to watch them later. We would like to say special thanks to ISP Supplies and Steve for helping us in making this event and bringing you the gift. And let's move on to our products. So some of our recent products that we have released, let's start with those. We are working hard on our 60 gigahertz product family, and we have expanded it. So recently we released an updated, newer version of our access point for the 60 gigahertz. So now it has a 180-degree beam width. So it's quite an improvement. Before the previous model had 60 degrees. So you can connect up to 8 clients to one access point, and the total throughput is up to 1 gigabit. Both ways, so 1 gigabit full duplex. And if you connect all of those 8 clients together and all of them are transmitting at the same time, they will share the same 1 gigabit between them. But if some of those devices are not transmitting at that time, the other ones will get a bigger, higher bandwidth. Yeah. We also have wireless wired dish. So this is for making longer distance links up to 1.5 kilometers, and we also have a CPEs 100 megabit devices. So if you connect multiple devices up to those 8, each one, if all of them are transmitting at the same time, each one will get around 125 megabits. So you can use a lower cost CPE for that. Yeah. So this is our 60 gigahertz product range. In LTE, we have now four products: LTE AP Mini and WAP access points. So they are you can have an LTE from the carrier and create a local access point. And there are 2 outdoor devices for receiving the signal in areas where the signal is not that good, and maybe the cell phone doesn't reach. So there's SXT and the Elegy LTE, so our newest product in the LTE range. So this is a high gain antenna. It can reach quite far, and you can also actually in future you can also change the modem inside. So so you can later upgrade it to a let's say 5G. It's already ready for that. The device is ready for future. Now we have already 3 different LTE cards that support different LTE bands, and for each of these cards you can get already in a kit, in any of these, and separately as well. And for those kits, well, you need to connect somewhere, right? To a carrier, and for that we are also having our own LTE base station, intercell. Colloquial for this is small cells. So the idea is that you can make your own, basically your own WISP based on LTE. Yeah. So this will be a small LTE base station. In the beginning, we'll support bands 38 and 39. There will be 4 different models. One that supports band 38, one that supports band 39, and 2 of those that have 2 cells in it, so 38 and 38, and one model 38 with band 38 and 39. Yeah? So you can use them. You can use this this base station as like a separate unit and register the SIM cards in it, and then it will support. And it can support up to 192 clients connected to at the same time. But it also supports the EPC, the core service for the LTE. So you can, it's like a radius server for the LTE. So if you have multiple base stations, you can register all the clients there, and people will be able, and the devices will be able to roam between these base stations. Yeah? So you can basically build your own wireless network based on the LTE, and all of our CPEs already can be a client for that base station. Yeah? So they already support that. Yeah. Another recent product that we really love, it's a router board 4011. So we had router board 2011, which has been a very popular product, 3011, and now the 4011. So this is a dual band Wi-Fi router, which has 2 gigahertz with 2 chains and 5 gigahertz with 5 chains. You can make up to 160 megahertz channels on it. Yeah, so this is a very powerful one. It has a 4-core ARM CPU. Actually, we use the same CPU that we use for the carrier grade RB1100, yeah, but in a lot smaller device. There's even 10 gig SFP plus port. It has IPsec hardware encryption up to 2 gigabits per second, and so on. So PoE out. And there's also a non-wireless version for putting in a rack, and it also already comes with the mount for the rack. Yeah, so you can put it there and use it. Next, what we have recently new product category for us is the power line. So the first product that we released was Powerline AP. So the idea of this product is that it's a device that actually has 3 interfaces. It has an Ethernet, it has a wireless, it has a Powerline interface, PLC. So if you use it as just one unit, separate unit, it's a regular wireless access point. You plug in an Ethernet cable and create a wireless in 2.4 gigahertz. But once you have at least 2 of these, you can make a network via electrical wires inside your home, apartment, office. So if there are at least two devices in the same household, they will connect together automatically and create and transfer the data over the electrical lines. So if you have a location, like a room somewhere where the wireless doesn't reach and there are no Ethernet cables there, now you can have both Ethernet and Wi-Fi there. So you don't need to put cables there. So it will automatically pair with new devices, so you can plug in multiple of those together in one household. So it might look like that. You have a CPU on the roof. You get incoming internet connection. You have Ethernet, and then that Ethernet goes to your first power line device, and from there, via electrical wires, it goes to power line device somewhere else. And here you have Wi-Fi, and actually you can also have an Ethernet here as well. So that's the power line IP, and also we are releasing power line device, which adds a power line feature to already existing devices. So the newest version of the Hap Lite, Hap Mini, and the Map family devices already support it. So they are powered by micro USB. So if you swap out the micro USB adapter that's in the box with the power line device, you get the power line feature for these routers. And for the newest ones that are released, produced this year, it's already there. So if you upgrade to the newest RouterOS version, even if you don't have this power line device, a new interface will show up in RouterOS, and so that's how you know that your Hap Lite, for example, supports it. And then you can connect again with another power line device or with the power line IP via electrical wires. So this adds another range of products that support the power line feature. Next, what we have recently released in our switch area are two 10 gig switches, 4-port switch, and the next will be 8-port switch. So this is CRS 305, a small 4-port SFP plus switch, so 10 gig ports. There's also 1 gig Ethernet for management, for example. It supports both RouterOS and SwitchOS. It has a nice metallic enclosure. It's silent, and there are 2 DC jacks for redundant power. So small SFP plus switch. If you need something bigger, there is an 8-port one. We like our CCR passive cooling case, so we're using this for our CRS switch. So this one has 8 ports, or 8 10 gig ports as well, dual boot. So if you need it purely as a switch, you can use SwitchOS. If you like RouterOS or need some additional features from the RouterOS, you can boot it in RouterOS as well. So this as well is a silent device, and well, you can have a redundant power. The second power source can be the PoE. So recently we updated our CCRs, 36 core and 16 core. So now all of the devices in this series have dual power supply units and much improved power supply units. So they're better. And there's also an optional 48 volt adapter, open frame adapter available. So you can swap out one of the, for example, you can swap out one of the adapters that are in with the 48 volt adapter. We have one such device with us on the table, so you can come later and see it in person. actually most of the devices that we are talking here today about, we have with us. So please come afterwards to our registration table and see those devices in person. And now let's get to our upcoming products. So this is a roadmap for our coming year and what we plan to release. This is not all of the products that we plan to release, but some of them we would like to show you today and tell you about them, and also later you can come and see them in person. So first is a whole category. We call it GPEN, or Gigabit Passive Ethernet Network. And well, you know GPON, right? So based on optical cables, so there are ONT units at home, there are optical cables, there are splitters, there are OLTs in the office, and so it's all based on fiber. Fiber is expensive, and so there are other issues with that as well. So what we have is a Gigabit passive. What we are offering is a Gigabit passive Ethernet network, and so there are some components involved. And so we'll start one by one. So first is what we call GPER, Gigabit Passive Ethernet Repeater. So it's fully passive device that can extend the PoE reachability. So the idea is that if you need to put a long Ethernet cable, you can use this device, and you can extend Ethernet up to 1.5 kilometers, so it's almost up to 1 mile. Yeah? And so if you start with 57 volts in the beginning, then after that 1.5 kilometers, you will still have 24 volts, which is enough to power a router board. And so you can extend Ethernet to very long distances. The next one will be Gigabit Ethernet Surge Protector. So that will protect from electricity spikes. So you can put it in front of your devices and be safe that they will survive. So you can put this outdoors on a tower or in a server room and so on. So this will be a surge protector. And next one, there will be two basically PoE injectors. So first one is the GPEN 11 PoE injector for outdoors. So you can mount it. Indoors. You can mount it, for example, where the internet connection comes in, and use it there. So, and the other one will have additionally an SFP port, and it will be a smart device. So you can also use it as a fiber to copper converter. And the next component for outdoors will be a switch, which will have a reverse PoE functionality. So it will get the electricity from the devices. So the idea is that on a tower you will not need electricity. The device will get the electricity from the clients, for example, from the GPEN. That will inject the electricity, and it will have 15 PoE in ports, and it will be enough with just one device turned on somewhere to power it. And so it will work that way. And there's also a PoE out. So you can connect another device and power it. So if, for example, you can get the connection from let's say 60 gigahertz link, and then provide it for the clients. There will also be a PoE out outdoor switch with 16 PoE ports, and as well 2 SFP plus ports for uplink. Yeah. So this will be a CRS, so you will be able to run router OS on it, and there will be also a smaller device with that will be switch OS only, CSS. So it will have 8 PoE ports. It will have a UPS battery support. It will be able to monitor it and see the temperatures and so on. So that will be a smaller version. Yeah, so these they will look like that. So the first one with the PoE in, the second one with PoE out, and this with all kinds of connectors for the battery and so on. We have one of them with us today, so please come back later and see them. And so in the end, you can build your network based on Ethernet. So you'll have your jippers. You can extend it up to 1.5 kilometers. There are GPNs that will provide power. There are switches. And well, back in your office, you already have devices. Yeah, so it's all based on Ethernet network, on regular Ethernet network. No special devices required. And yeah, so the price point for building that kind of network is lower than to build all on fiber. The next small device that we'll be having is called MQS, or Mobile Quick Setup. So this one, so we have already like a small like map devices and so on. So this will be a device that you can plug into a device, let's say SXT, and connect to it via Wi-Fi. So for example, there's a situation. Technician goes to a tower, connects the SXT, and then well, something's not working, and well, some debugging has to be done. And well, with MQS, he or she will be available to connect the MQS, power it with any power bank. Yeah, so MQS will provide PoE out. So it will power the SXT, for example, from the power bank and create the Wi-Fi, and the technician will be able to connect to the device and see what's up with that. Yeah. So that will be a small. We call it. We think it will be a good friend to have for an administrator to have it always with in your pocket. The next device that will be we are working on will work with the LoRa network. So it's an Internet of Things sector. So the idea is that nowadays there are loads of sensors that do all kind of things like they monitor temperature, monitor humidity, traffic, and so on. And well, they all have to send their data somewhere, and so so-called LoRa gateways are used. And well, nowadays the ones that are available on the market tend to be fairly expensive. Well, you can make your own, but it's still not that affordable. So we will be using our already like existing. It will be using the VAP, our regular VAP, which already has a Wi-Fi and Ethernet, and we will be adding a LoRa gateway interface to it. So these sensors will be able to use this to pass the information forward. Yeah, so these sensors, they're low power. They work in different frequency. They can send data maybe up to 1.5 kilometers, so maybe up to a mile. And for example, you can monitor parking lots and so on. And they will be able to connect to our LoRa gateway, and then send the information forward. Yeah. So that will be our LoRa product. The next one, so MUPS Pro. So we already have the micro UPS, the device that you can use to have a like battery power for devices when the regular power goes out. So we are upgrading this to a Pro version. It will be the same size as the previous one, but it will now support 48-volt batteries as well. So it will also have 48-volt PoE out, and it will be a smarter device. You will also be able to manage it through the web interface. And so the idea is that you have your device somewhere which is powered by electricity, but well, something might happen. The electricity goes out. It will switch over to the MUPS, and then it will use the battery. And then when it will be able to tell you, or alert you that there's a power outage, and then when the power comes back, it will recharge the battery again. So when the next time something like that happens, the battery is full. Yeah. A while ago we announced the Ltap, the bigger version of Ltap Mini, and well, it's still coming. We will have it very soon, and so this device is an LTE device. So you will be able to put up to 2 LTE modems in it. It has even 3 SIM slots, Gigabit Ethernet, built-in GPS, for also GLONASS support and Galileo support, and all kinds of connectors for external antennas, console port, USB, and so on. So you can make a local wireless access point, so get the internet from the LTE and create a local access point. Yeah, so this is it will be in a rugged case, so you can put it outdoors, you can put in vehicles. So this is an access point, LTE access point. So that's the coming upcoming device with an LTE section. Another upcoming device will be Elegy Xl Hp. So we like our LHD devices, and we're building more of them. And so this one will be our first dual band LHD with both 2 GHz and 5 GHz, with 2 ports, with SFP port and Ethernet port. So you can use the other frequency for failover, for example, or you can even use them at the same time for higher throughput. So this will be a dual band outdoor dish. Some of the switches that are coming later this year. First, CRS 326, so 24 port SFP plus switch. Initially, we announced it as a 332 32 port SFP plus switch, but so we decided to upgrade one of those 8 SFP plus ports to 2 QSFP plus ports. So it will have 40 gig ports. The next one will be a 10 gig Ethernet switch, CRS 312. So it will have 8 10 gig Ethernet ports, so native ports, and also 4 combo ports. Also, there are physically 8 connectors on the device. You can use 4 of them at the same time. You can use them as a failover as well. Let's say SFP plus is your main connection, but if something goes wrong, you have plugged in as well the Ethernet, and so with router scripting, you can switch over to the Ethernet port and still provide provide service. So it will have dual power supply units, console, management port, and so on. Two other switches that are coming later this year are 48 port switches. So first one, 48 port Gigabit switch with 4 Sfp plus and 10 gig ports and two 40 gig ports. So these two. And there will also be a bigger version with all of those 48 ports as PoE. So these are coming later this year. And the last but not least of the upcoming products is what we call Audience. So this will be a mesh device. It will have 3 wireless interfaces. So it will be a dual band router, wireless access point, and it will use the third. It will use the third interface, so secondary 5 GHz interface to pair with other units. So we'll be able to plug them in around the premises and different locations, and so they will connect together and form a mesh network and provide wireless throughout the premises. So they will have two Ethernet ports, and there will be as well a separate LTE model, which will have a Cat6 modem. So Cat6 modem uses carrier aggregation, can use to connect to 2 bands at the same time, so up to 300 megabits of LTE. So there will be that model as well. We recently released our new app for iOS and Android, MikroTik app. So you can use it to configure your router. It has a new and simple interface. So you can start with simple things. You can upgrade your router, change the wireless SSID, set the password for the wireless, set the password for the router, so on. And so it's now available both for iOS and Android. So that's the newest in our software things, and that's it. Thank you very much. Enjoy the mom.